Now, I do have to add to this that the brain does a couple of quirky things that really make it difficult for us during these times. One of the things that it does is it's called the negativity bias. So the negativity bias is phenomenal for keeping us alive. What it means is we essentially see the bad a lot more readily than we see the good. Doesn't that sound great? Thanks, brain. And the reason, it comes down to evolution again, it comes down to survival. So just go back to, our ancestors. If we missed an opportunity to do something good, like eat food or find a mate, we could do it the next day. Not such a big problem. But if we miss a threat, as in tiger, I always go to tiger. There's probably a tiger somewhere like, why do you always use me as the example? I'm not a bad guy. But if we miss that threat, dead, game over, no continues. So it makes sense that we would spend much more time and pay much more attention to the negative things that could threaten us than the positive things that we do need them to survive, but not immediately, not urgently. Another way you could think of it is, our ancestor dude is walking past a bush and, sees something kind of round-ish and brownish color. He can either think that's definitely a lion and jump out of the way, and it turns out to be a rock. Awkward. Or he can think, I reckon that's a rock, and just not move, and it turns out to be a lion. So in the first example, assuming it's a lion and jumping out the way, if it turns out to be a rock, you've not lost anything, you just look a bit foolish. And the other ancestors would just laugh at you and maybe tell tales about that time that you ran away from a rock. But if you do it the other way around, if you assume that it's just a rock and it does turn out to be a lion, again, you're dead. And you see, I used lion that time. I don't hate tigers. It could be any big cat, but I feel like that's not the point of the story. The story is it's better to be anxious because it helps you survive. If you're calm all the time, historically speaking, the species wouldn't be here if we were just so calm about everything. Yeah, it might be a tiger. I'm willing to take my chances. So we've been wired this way intentionally.